Good morning, YouTube. I'm just sitting here enjoying my backyard pond. That's actually the neighbors. Isn't that gorgeous? It's right by my bedroom window, so I can hear it at night, and that's kind of neat. There was frogs there, or actually they were toads, I think. Really making a lot of noise at night, a few nights. Oh, earlier this spring. It's got lily pads in it and everything. Isn't that neat? Anyway, my yard looks like this. It's totally a blank canvas. And then the neighbors have a swimming pool on the other side with a nice little, they have a nice little area over there. Now remember, their house was probably just like ours to start with, but now they've got like extra stories up, and you probably can't see all that because it's in the sun. I'm smoking some 2016 Peter Stokkebye Bullseye luxury flakes. I love those things. I still do that thing though, even when I have it cellared. I still pick out the little bullseye, and then after my pipe is going real good, I'll take and throw that in there, you know, kind of like a little gift to myself. That's just one of those things, you know, as we all do our pipe smoking and stuff, we all have different habits and we get used to them. Anyway, I love sitting out here on my back porch. Oh, there again, you're in the sun. Sorry, guys. It's a pretty neat patio. I mean, like I say, it's not a bad view. It's just a blank canvas, and sooner or later I'll get that to it. Things are just weird, you know, with all the going-ons. I moved in March, and so as a result, we didn't get any help, and we haven't met our neighbors or anything like that other than them walking on the street and stuff. But now that things are beginning to loosen up, I'm sure I'll get a little bit closer to them. Have a lot of things to do back here besides just mow the grass. That's been keeping me pretty busy, and the pine tree fell over, so I had to take a pine tree out. And then I don't have a dog door, so I have to leave that door open, but I did hang some screen in there, but still, you know, I can't do that for much longer, so I'm going to have to get a dog door in, and I just got so much to do. I don't know, some of you guys know us personally, some of you don't, but Kevin's had a lot of medical issues lately, and so he is on a knee walker because they took off the front part of his left foot. He's diabetic, and that kind of thing sometimes happens. He actually had 3 broken toes called Charcot or something, and it's where one of the knuckles of your bone is actually healing in the wrong place, like on the bottom of your foot instead. So the idea was to, got to get this thing going again. But so the idea was they were going to let it mend on itself, then they were going to go in and just fix that later. But it didn't work that way. Sometimes it didn't. The bone went ahead and broke through the skin on the bottom of his foot, and so when that happened, an infection set in real quickly. And that's what we'll be dealing with now. So sometimes life sucks. A lot of time life sucks. The nice thing is, though, I get to come out here with my pipe and smoke on it too. I don't know if you can see my tree decorated back there. It doesn't look really good right now, but it did last night. It was all lit up, and I was sitting out here by myself on my deck. Like I say, because of the way the house is built, what we ended up having to do is basically he lives in the basement and I live upstairs until he's off his walker, because I won't let him come up on his walker and mess up my floors. I'm so cruel. Well, you know, I'm taking care of him. He's still, you know, it's just up and down the steps is tough. Let's see, what else? Really not much going on. Like say, Kansas is beginning to open up, but we live in Missouri now. We were really right across the border 20 minutes away from where we were, but only because you have to go by the river. I mean, it's probably like more closer than we are if you went with the way the crow flies, but because you have to go, you know, around the river, you have to go to the bridge to get across. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Real close to his work though, and that's kind of nice. So, and let's see, the temperatures have been great. We've had in the 80s, we've had above average, and I don't mind that. I don't mind when they're below average either, so I'm kind of one of those people that likes all the changes in the weather. Boy, I'm sorry, you guys, that sun is just terrible for you. Is it any better? There, is that any better? Not for me. Well, I've had a long year, and so it's starting a new year basically for me now. I know it doesn't seem to everybody else the same way as it does to me, but it's been almost a year since Danny passed away, and so I'm taking that into stride and saying, okay, let's get on with it. And so you'll start seeing me on YouTube a little bit more. I'm going to go to Texas. That's in my plans, and I want to go to Texas before the school year starts and stuff. So that's still working, but you know. Right now, there's just something else that came up, so I got to worry. You know, as you get older, you just go from problem to problem, and you just either deal with it or hide from it, you know. So I'm one of those people that meets it head on and usually just takes it on and go. I mean, what do you do with life? So many of us are now suffering the loss of friends and stuff, and it's tough to realize that they make so much difference in your life when they're not even family. Boy, this turducken, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get back onto the joking kind of Sue that used to be on this YouTube channel. So you guys stay tuned, because from here on out, you know, we used to do tons of giveaways, and I liked them because even though I'd tell people don't put me in, you know, in the hat, I liked having something to talk about. So that was always fun. So I'd do a bunch of videos for them. I don't notice us doing very many giveaways like we used to. Some of the people that do giveaways, I mean, you know, when they do it big. I did my 100, 200, 300, 400 contest all at once years ago. I was at 100, and I said, well, when I got to 100, I'd do a giveaway. Well, I got to 100, and all of a sudden it was 200, 300, and 400 before my contest was even up. And I gave away some Rick Blacks. And boy, I haven't heard much out of Rick lately either. I'm going to have to touch on him. You know, now it's time to touch up all my old friends and say, hey, dudes, I haven't seen you for a while. Let's get busy and get some videos up there. Well, you know, we all love you. Happy, happy, joy, joy, you know, as always, I'm watching you.